beyond the skies. You and I, we're breaking bounds on Baobab.
All right, welcome everyone. We are so happy to have you here with us for our really exciting event about leveraging AI tools for the job search process. We have a really wonderful group of panelists. For starters, if you could put in chat where you are joining from. Put in chat, let us know where you are joining from. All right, we got a whole bunch of, it's ironic because it's about AI and the job search process, and then we have a whole bunch of people using AI to join the webinar. Thank you so much. Justine from Kenya and Andrew from, uh, he went too fast. Andrew from Sierra Leone, very good. Welcome everyone. Patrick from Rwanda, Francisca from Ghana, welcome, welcome. As we start getting into our topic, awesome, great. We have some from the U.S. too. That's great from Dallas, Ghana. Very good from Benin. Welcome, Grace. If you could put in chat for us, we'd like to know, are you currently using AI to apply for jobs, to work on your resume, right? You can give me a yes, 100%. Let us know if you're currently using AI, any form of AI in applying for jobs, in the job search process. We got a couple yes. Andrew says 100%. Grace says no. Francisca says no. So, wow, mix. Kind of a mix. We have Fred says, yeah, he does. Onichojo says yes. And then we have these AI assistants. I'm not a big fan of those. Almost no. Wow, so it's really kind of a mix. Well, you guys welcome. Let me share my screen. We have a really interesting program set up for you. I'm going to share my screen. All right, so preparing for the job market, leveraging AI tools. And let me close some of my other screens so I can see you guys. Hold on and make that one bigger. And so I have my chat. Very good. Awesome. So today we're going to have an little introduction. We're going to have an overview of current trends in AI usage in the job search process, kind of what's happening, what are some current trends. We have our guest panelists who are going to share their experiences of what they're doing in this field. And then we're going to have time for Q&A because I'm sure many of you have a lot of questions. Some group rules, please mute yourself when you're not speaking. And if you'd like to participate, you can raise your hand. And I'm just trying to see how come I can't see everyone better. Oh, well, my attendee is very good. Listen to each other. You can post questions in chat as we go along, and we'll be monitoring that. At the end, we should be able to use the Q&A feature as well. So I'd like to start off by introducing to you our guest panelists. There's me. I've been working with MasterCard Foundation for about 7-8 years now. I'm a career readiness coach. Very happy to be here with you. We have Abdulrahman Jalloh. He's an IT specialist currently working for EdPlus. He has a master's degree in IT from ASU. He was a recipient of a MasterCard scholarship, and he developed an AI bot to help assist with resume writing, and it's going to talk about that a little bit. We have Maria Houle, who has 30 years experience in corporate, nonprofit, and academic settings in multiple countries. She has an MBA from the Thunderbird School of Global Management and bachelor's degrees in political science and Italian language. She's going to provide for us more the employer perspective, the perspective being on the recipient side. She does also help applicants as well, but she's also going to provide the employer perspective. And then we have Theodore, who's also he's profiled in an update to our cover letter Baobab course. You may have seen him. He's also a MasterCard alum, has a BA in mechanical engineering, And he currently has several entrepreneurial ventures to help people and companies use AI more effectively. Welcome, everyone. So I'm going to start off with just some current trends that I found in our research in the job search process. And I tell you, I was shocked. I was shocked as I dived into this. Oh my God. So it is an applicant tsunami. An applicant tsunami. Give me a thumbs up if you can see this and if you are as amazed as I was. So a typical, you can give me a thumbs up. Thank you very much. I know. Oh my gosh. A typical job posting on LinkedIn average 200 to 1,200 applications on average. That means 11,000 applications every minute. There are 350 to 400,000 new job postings posted on LinkedIn per day worldwide. And that means 15 to 16 million applications are posted daily. Daily. Oh my gosh, it's a 45% increase since 2024. Remote and entry level roles commonly receive 1,000 applications within 24 hours. There is a faster time to hire, a 40% reduction in time due to AI, and companies are using automated assistants for scheduling interviews and follow up with calendars. And let me pull up I don't know why I can't see all of my, anyway, that's okay. All right, how employers are managing this tsunami. 83% are using AI for resume screening, double the rate from 2024. 75% use AI to assist assessing candidates, and 99% use applicant tracking systems that use some sort of AI. With this, what employers are looking for, they have smart pre-screening systems, behavior analytics. They're looking for skills. They're emphasizing skills over titles and degrees. And they still seek applicants with strong interpersonal skills and strong communication skills. What this means for the applicants, and you guys give me a thumbs up if you are seeing this as you are jumping into this one. They want high quality personalized applications. They want active LinkedIn engagement so they know that you're a real person. And they want cover letters where that's your opportunity to show your communication and creativity skills. So that's what we're seeing on the employer side. On the candidate side, we're finding, not surprisingly, that 66% of job candidates use AI when applying for jobs. 23% use AI to tailor resumes and cover letters. And people are using AI more and more for interview practice. They're finding it improves their confidence and their preparation time for when applying for jobs. Ironically, AI use is perceived by employers. 80% of hiring managers view AI generated content negatively, right? 80%. So here they are. You guys are using AI because that's the only way you can find these jobs and apply, but you will be rejected if they think that you used AI. It's a paradox. They're leveraging AI to make the selection and hiring process easier and faster. Candidates are using AI to optimize success in the application process, and then they reject the applicants who they think used AI. Right? Oh my gosh. Wow. So it's a really interesting situation. So with this, we're going to jump into our panelists and we're going to see what their experiences are. So for each panelist, um, we're going to start with Theo, and then Abdullah, and we're going to end with Maria. Right, with Theo giving kind of a community perspective, Abdullah giving a candidate perspective, Maria both candidate and employer perspective. Each person will kind of give a summary of their current work, and they're going to share what are their top do's and don'ts for using AI responsibly in the application and job search portfolio process. So we're going to start with Theodore Kanjo. I'm going to stop my screen share, and for my technical guy, can we profile Theodore here? Kelvin. Can we profile Theodore here? So could you give us kind of a summary of how you're using AI and some of what your entrepreneurial initiatives are to start off with?
Awesome. Thank you very much. But first of all, I have to figure out where did you find that photo because I deleted it from all my social media. So I'm still wondering how you got that photo. And to answer your question, how I use AI is, first of all, I believe that the next billion-dollar company could be someone who learns how to use AI and sitting at his desk like I am right now. And I did a poll on LinkedIn and I discovered that about 63% of people and companies want to use AI, but they don't know how to adopt it into their business. So I saw the gap and I decided to start an AI agency where I help businesses and teach them how to adopt AI into their business so as to save time and increase on revenue. Along that, I also run a school community called One Way AI Hub, where I help entrepreneurs and business owners to start their businesses and scale their businesses respectively using AI and also leveraging my experience from building my agency and my 4 years of marketing. So that's how I'm basically using AI right now.
Well, thank you so much. And I'll share. So I know, very, very nice. Theo, if any of you participated in our last webinar, Theo is also working with Talentium, helping them using AI more efficiently and more effectively. That was a really fabulous guest who we had. Um, Theo, what advice would you give for people of thinking about what do's and don'ts or number one do's and don'ts would you recommend for our people who are here today?
Okay, for the do's, if you are here, then you're curious about AI, then the do's is after today, whatever you heard here today, you have to go and do it because you can't just listen and not do it. The results comes from actually doing it. The do's for AI is you have to understand the language of AI. As much as it uses English, it also has a structure that you have to use. First of all, you have to understand that AI, there's something called prompting, and there's a structure for prompting. And I've been using AI since 2022, I think, when ChatGPT came out, but religiously, I've been using it like the beginning of 2025. And I had to learn how to prompt because most of us we complain that it does not give us the result that we want within the first prompt. It gives us like a third prompt. So with it from January to about now, I created a universal prompt where I'm able to use across any use case or any problem. All I have to do is, let's say I want to apply for a job right now. I copy the prompt, paste it into ChatGPT. I'm like, okay, and I give it the prompt. I want to apply for this job. These are the experiences that I have. Can you create me a prompt that will give me the output that I want? And it creates a prompt for me that assigns a role, gives it a task, gives it a context, and then outputs the result based on how I want, and it understands my tone, it understands my personality, it understands who I am because I trained it with my LinkedIn profile and every single thing. So you have to understand prompting in order to get what you want from AI. And the don'ts is like you read from the statistics, it shows that a lot of people are applying for jobs and a lot of people are also using AI. So if you're applying, you're not the only one applying, you're not the only one using AI. So use AI as a tool to help you, not to replace you. What I mean by that is if you're applying, you have to figure out who am I first, who are you, before you figure out what you want. After that, you spend about 80% of your time planning and seeing, okay, this is the experiences that I have. This is my background. This is what the job is requires. Then use 20% of that task now to prompt to ChatGPT or Google Gemini, depending on whatever you use, and ask it to tailor your experiences, tailor who you are, your tone, your personality, your experience to fit that particular job description. And it doesn't actually end there. After that, you have to now go over what ChatGPT has given you. ChatGPT, for example, has given you. Then you proofread because most times you don't get what you want. You proofread, then you edit according to how you want to. that's how you get to find your unique edge within the job market. I'm no longer within the job market because I got into the job market and I wanted to get a job as you, but now I don't want to live in another person's shadow. I want to create a thing of my own. That's why I'm creating something for myself. So yeah, that's basically the do's and don'ts of using AI for the job market.
Wow, that's really, really interesting. So you have a universal prompt that you
The-
developed. How much time did it take for you to develop that?
So I think I watch a lot of YouTube videos, like trying to understand the different prompting techniques that are there. I still don't understand it, so I use AI to help me with that. But I took about a week to generate the first prompt. I think when I was generating the first prompt, I was generating it for my resume and my cover letter. Then I was like, okay, I'm doing a lot of things. It's not only job applications. I can also like translate this into other aspects of my life. So from that 2 weeks, I started iterating the prompt to be able to use it in whatever case that I wanted to use it. So it took me about 5 months, like constantly innovating it. But now
Innovating.
I'm at a level where when I use it, it gives me exactly what I want and I don't need to ask more questions. And
Wow.
I'll be happy to share with the people that end up joining my community. And I must say that I only work with serious people. So if you're joining, know that I'm going to kick you out if you're not serious.
That's good.
And
Um,
we're 70, we're 71 members right now as of August 29th, my birthday.
awesome. I know we got
Yeah.
a whole bunch of August and Virgo birthdays here. And you're located, sorry, Theo, I didn't say you're located in Uganda, right? Am I right? No,
Yeah,
Sierra Leone.
yeah,
Sorry, Yaoundé, Cameroon.
yes.
Wow. And when did you start the AI community? It's new, isn't it?
Yes. So I attended an online event hosted by Alex Homozy. He's like well known within the business space. And he gave me 3 months access to school, a platform for people who own communities. And I've been thinking about AI and starting my own business, but I did not know. I wanted to help entrepreneurs start their businesses. And I was like, okay, here I have a platform that I can help people, I can educate people about AI adoption. Why not I start something? So I on my birthday, I was like, okay, I already have this. Let me go on ChatGPT. I went on ChatGPT. I'm like, okay, I want to do this. This is how I want to do it. Can you give me a plan or a roadmap on how to do it within the next 1 month? And he gave me the plan and I started working on it. On the 29th of August, it wasn't complete, but I was like, I'm going to do it. If I want to see results, I have to do it, not only think about it. So I just clicked launched on the 29th of August. And basically, I wooed all my friends to join. And the first day, I had 24 members within the platform. And right now, I'm helping about 6 people to start up businesses.
Awesome. We have a question in the chat of how can people join you? I don't know.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'll, I'll share the link. I'll share the link, then you just click. It'll take you to the About page. Then you just have to join, then I approve if you join or not. So it's that simple. Then when you join, I'm going to welcome you in the platform. Then I'm going to ask about your goals, if you're here to start a business, if you just want to know about AI, and then we get working from there. I already have a roadmap that I've created to welcome or to onboard people within the community. So right now, I'm doing free coaching for members within my community, but the long term is to make money with AI because, like I said, $1 billion industry here.
Yeah. You know what I think is so interesting is the amount of time up front you had to invest in learning AI, in learning what you wanted, in fine-tuning it, right? It was a lot, it was a big investment time, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think I had to invest so much time because I was also within the job market. I had graduated from university 2023, had an internship in London, went, came back to Cameroon, and felt lost after that. Applied for jobs within a year, did not get the job that I wanted, got a few internships here and there, but they were just to like be sustainable. And I heard a quote from Naval Ravikant. He said, go learn a bit of AI, go back to the jobs that refused you, and then see what the difference is going to be. So it's a commitment. You have to put in their action, because you can only, if you only think about things and never do them, then you never see results.
Right. Such wise words and such great advice. Thank you so much. So you guys, at the end, we're going to have Q&A for our panelists, but I'd like to turn the floor over. Thank you so much, Theo. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to turn the floor over to Abdulrahman. And Abdulrahman is going to share with us what he's been working on and his experience and expertise. Welcome, welcome. And he's joining us from Phoenix, Arizona. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Great to be here, guys. I will just start off highlighting the paradox you mentioned, where you have employers using AI to screen and filter out candidates, and they don't expect candidates to use AI to apply. So that's the paradox we have today. But essentially, I think Maria would allude to this, is people want to save time. I mean, as an employer, or if you're screening candidates, you have about 2,000, 3,000 applications to like go through. That's a lot of numbers. So you want to find the best way to actually go through all that applications and get out the best candidates. As a candidate, the job market is so competitive now, and there are fewer jobs being posted every day. Entry job is almost non-existent, especially in the US here, because of how AI is being automated a lot of jobs as well. So you're really left with the only option of really expanding your net in terms of the number of applications you send in. And tailoring resume is a lot of effort as well, because you'd have to look at the job, you have to do the research, you have to know about the company, you have to know about the keywords being used, you have to know about the skill sets you're missing. Sometimes you even have to take a course to actually acquire those skill sets. So it's a lot of pieces you have to put together. And when I did the research, I remember people were like spending on average 2 hours just to tailor a single resume for a job. Because sometimes you're in front of your computer, you don't even know where to start. And for me, I wanted to like just solve that. It was a personal pain point of mine as well. I was in the US for studies, and I was on an F1 visa. I don't have time to actually keep looking at the job that really fits into what I want, because I'm constrained by time. So I wanted something that could automate that process, not fully automate it, but also augment what I do. So something that I could feed my context to it. I could feed my story, what is unique about me, and it will sort of amplify that and put that in a way that is presentable, that could pass the ATS screening or the AI screening of the employer. That was the goal of Resume Match. It wasn't anything else that it could generate a resume and completely say stuff about you that is not true. So you'd have to feed it as much context as you can. So Resume Match is a tool that helps you tailor your resume to a particular job description. But first of all, you'd have to feed in your data. I call it as a general a CV that has everything about you. It could be 5, 6, 7 pages long. That has everything about you. So you give the AI enough context about who you are, what is unique about you, what you bring to the table, how best you fit this particular role. And that AI could look at that and compare it to the job description, do a bit of research about the company as well behind that job description, and know what value you could bring to that company, and tailor your resume based on that, and gives you an output where you could download that and apply to the job. And that takes about, on average, a minute to finish all that process. So imagine cutting down the time from 2 hours to like a minute for a single job. So it puts you in a place where you could apply to a lot of jobs as well. So that's the background of Resume. When I launched it, that was 2024. I think in June, started growing steadily. We grew to about 5,000 users, and mostly because people were using the free aspect of Resume. That cost me a lot as a student. So because with every tailor, there's a cost there called an inference cost. So it was like too much for me to handle, because I was even using my personal savings to actually pay for the server cost, the AI cost, because I was using OpenAI's API and I had to like pause it and shut it down for a minute and look for ways to like get funds. And that was what I was doing. And at this point, we're at a point where I'm going to launch Resume version 2 um, within the next couple of weeks. And for now, I've also added new features where you could um, apply to job on your behalf. So you could feed not only tailor your resume, but also do the application for say LinkedIn and Indeed for now, because those are the two platforms that I've added there. And so that's just a preamble about Resume. In terms of my experience, I would say if you're using AI, you really have to think about your own story. And I think Theodore mentioned that as well. You don't necessarily have to, it's not, don't use AI in a way where it replaces you. So if you're giving ChatGPT a prompt, you don't give it in a way, say, okay, generate a cover letter for me. It will just give you a generic one. And humans were so smart, even a primary school kid could look at AI generated content, actually says this is AI generated content. And it's that easy. It's not really difficult because it's too perfect. And the average human could do one or two mistakes, maybe in a cover letter that looks more human. So for me, it's about you feed it in enough context about who you are. You make sure you change the language to your writing style as well. And and the thing about AI tools today, you could prompt it. This is how I write. Even give it an example of something you've written before that you originally written before. Even if it is old, you could still feed it to it, and it will learn your way of writing and sort of give you an output that is aligned with that. So even if a human sees it and say, okay, this is generated by human, you could even ask it, throw in a few grammar error there, so at least they will know it's perfect from
Oh
AI.
no, don't do that. No, no, no.
I'm
That's
just, I'm just
cheating.
kidding. I'm
It's
just kidding.
cheating.
So the goal I call it the power of range. You'd have to explore widely. You build experience is really important. Sometimes you have to pause the applications a little bit. Think about building in public. Say if you're in a software in a technical role. What I mean by building in public, build projects that you post about it, maybe on your social media accounts. That could be really helpful. And you get to a point where even recruiters will reach out to you. Oh, I saw what you posted. That's really interesting. And personally, that has helped me a lot. When I finished school, I was applying to a lot of jobs. I wasn't getting any interview. And someone like just advised me, you know what, pause the application. I see you do a lot of interesting projects. Like every week, build something, put it out there. And I started doing it on LinkedIn. I started doing it on X. And all of a sudden, I was like, people were reaching out to me. That's cool. I saw what you did. Like Resume, for instance, gave me a lot of opportunities. Like I traveled to like San Francisco just because of Resume. So I would say pause a little bit of your application because it's really competitive out there. And for most of our audiences in the continent, sometimes what really helped me, what I was saying, like, because I grew up in Sierra Leone, I also like did my undergrad there. I would develop these sort of small projects that I would like take to businesses and say, for instance, this is what I developed. I think it could be very interesting to you. It's not just business, it could be anywhere you want to work. Learn about, if you want to work for a particular company, learn about that company. What are they about? And develop like a small project that you could take to them and say, hey, I developed this, is quite interesting. I see you are doing something X, Y, and Z, and this could be helpful to that goal. And trust me, you're going to get interviews just on that without even submitting your resume. Someone would just going to ask, you know what, let's talk again, so and so, come back again, and let's dive deep into it, And that happens. That's a strategy that has really worked for me. And I would say you could do that as well. And that helps you showcase initiative. And you don't have to do it alone also. There are AI tools that can help you. ChatGPT can help you, generate content. Perplexity can help you do research. If you want to do research about the company, if you want to know about the company, the product, give you an idea of what to build. You also have Claude, these are all like free tools, by the way. They're not like paid tools. You could also go there and ask Claude to like do research for you, give you ideas if you're doing like much more technical projects. And for a company, it shows initiative. And maybe if you don't want to spend too much time, working towards to the company, you could even reach out to them on X or LinkedIn and just message them and DM them like cold messaging to them. Although sometimes it's very difficult for them to respond. But if you send like 100 message to 100 different companies, their chances are maybe one or two will respond. So that is one strategy that I've used that has really worked for me. And also,
I got Abdulrahman, I have to interject. Here you are creating
I have a lot of
here you are creating a company about having people like automate this resume thing, and that's not what brought you success. What brought you success was your creativity, your initiative, your ingenuity, right?
Yeah. So that, and also that was like Resume was a pet project. Like
Yeah,
in the beginning, I was using it on my own, and
right.
it really helped me get a, a bit of opportunity on the side that I was posting about it
Yeah,
when I was launching it, and people like had interest. That's why I grew up to like a
that's
5,000 users.
it's
So,
excellent. Listen, just in the interest of time, we're gonna switch to Maria, and we're gonna hear kind of an employer perspective. I'm sure we're gonna have questions more from the audience, but that was super helpful and super, super interesting. Oh my God, what an interesting journey. Um, all right, Maria, we're gonna hand over to Maria now.
Hi,
Welcome, Maria.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I really enjoyed both Theo's and Abdul Rahman's remarks. And I halfway through thought, well, I'm done. I can go home because you guys, I think we're all on the same page on a lot of this stuff. I know I'm here representing the employer's perspective, but I do have the employer's perspective in the sense that I get job applications, but I'm going to use as an example, actually, I'm at the university. I'm also in Phoenix, I'm going to speak more about getting applications for opportunities for graduate students at the university. I have worked in corporate. The principles are the same, but I want to tell you what it's like to get a big bunch of AI generated employment requests. We had last spring several hundred requests from students or potential students for opportunities for programs, scholarships, and so on at the university. And I was part of a group that reviewed them. So my allotment was about 75 requests. They were short essays about why these candidates should be accepted, why they should get the opportunity. And some of these opportunities were very valuable, tens of thousands of dollars worth of scholarships. And what was shocking this year compared to other years, it's all of a sudden, is that out of 75, 74 of them were identical. And I had the task of judging who should get these opportunities, or at least putting in my input, and then we would all sort of vote. And it was, first of all, shocking, but second of all, depressing, because I knew some of these people actually personally, and I knew how much they had to offer. And it seemed that they had strictly used AI, not prompting well, probably asking ChatGPT to look at the website for the opportunity and to craft something. And there was zero personalization or very little. There was even one that forgot when she cut and paste to take off the prompt, make it sound more like me. And I thought, what an ironic and horrible thing to have left on there when you're supposed to be providing your own work and making your own pitch for why you're unique, you know? So these essays did not connect the dots at all between what the person was like and why they would be a good match for the opportunity. And so it was really boring also. It kind of made me angry that I was spending my time doing this. This was not a good feeling exercise at all for me. A portion of these applications that I looked at in the spring were for a very lucrative program, worth a lot of money to the students, full scholarship. And they had a screening video they needed to do, and every single screening interview that they provided on video was clearly done by having AI write something and reading it on a screen. The purpose of the interview was so that we could understand their personalities. And we've been doing this for years. I've always understood their personalities, more or less. Eventually, when I meet them in person, more or less, you got it from the video what this person's like. Can they make eye contact? Do they have a little energy? Zero. I got zero from those videos. So we did a second round of videos, and this time we spent a lot of time gaming. How are we going to get AI out of this process? Don't get me wrong, I love AI. I use it all day long for my personal stuff. I love it. And the university's not against it. It's not against the rules. We didn't tell them not to use it. We said, show your personality. So on the second round, we gamed it. And I'll tell you how. Elizabeth, shall I tell how we gamed it? Okay. So what we did is, it's not a totally original idea, but we had each candidate, they had to hold up an object in the video and describe why that object represented them as a person. And it's very hard for AI to do that. I tested it. I tested it on AI. A few of us did. And AI came up with one example of some object you could use that would sort of show your leadership skills. You could compare yourself to this object. Those videos were pretty good. And I did tell them all that it was meant to showcase their personalities, and they showed their personalities, but they had to give it some thought. One person came out with the example I got from ChatGPT, and it was a really good candidate. And it made me really sad that candidate didn't take the time and the energy for this really valuable opportunity to have the confidence. I felt, what is this candidate scared of? What risk are they trying not to take? I want people who can risk. I want people who are themselves. And so anyway, that was my experience with that. We all had the same experience on the team doing these. It was really a down moment for us when we realized that we have no way to screen candidates with this method. So we're coming up with ways to game it on our side so that candidates can't game it on their side. And it would have been so simple. You know who I gave the thumbs up to on the scholarships? The one candidate out of 75 who clearly didn't write the whole thing using ChatGPT. That's not how I want to choose a candidate, honestly, but that's who got it. At least they got my vote.
Yeah.
So my do is the same as Theo and Abdulrahman, is learn to use AI better, interact with it, tell it about yourself, include telling it your values, your style, your preferences, things you're proud of, let it know. Because I'll tell you my don't, which I think is even like a little bit more something you can chew on. Oh, I'm going to use a food example so you really can chew on it. AI is in a way a technology of averages. So if you let it control the process, it goes out there and it tries to find the most likely answer, right? And if you're trying to stand out, that's not what you want to do. It's the opposite of what you want to do. You don't want to be average. So my don't is don't be average. I don't go to the hair salon or the barber and say to the hair salon, to the stylist, you know what? You're the expert. Do what you want. That's not how any of us go to the barber, right? I don't go to McDonald's and eat the whole hamburger if I'm not hungry just because someone in corporate decided that was a portion size. So quit letting AI tell you how it's going to be. You tell it, guide it. I think that's the main thing. It shows your confidence when you're doing that. Know yourself, as Theo said. So that's my piece.
Thank you so much. That's so interesting. Kelvin, if you can put all of us, if you can put all of us, we're going to open up to Q&A. Maria is so interesting. Good. Kelvin, can you put all of us? So there's all of us here, all four. We're going to open it up to Q&A. There you go. And we got to get Theo. That's good. So interesting. And it relates to a question we got in the chat of saying, why do we have a bad feeling when we come across resume or applications written with AI? Because it makes it feel like you put no effort into it. Like it's not you. There's no authenticity, right? It's what Maria just said. And we can tell, and it seems insincere and inauthentic and lazy and disrespectful. And we just want to throw it in the trash, right? You just, and we can tell. So you wonder how we can tell. We can tell because the vocabulary is wrong, the tone and style is wrong, the structure, how it's organized is everything about it is so formulaic and a little off. And we just know it's wrong. It's AI. Even if we run it through an AI detector and the AI detector says, oh no, this was human made. Like, sorry, Abdulrahman, I don't mean to pick on you, but when Abdulrahman says, well, just tell it to make some grammar mistakes, it, we can still tell. We can still tell that it's AI generated. And it makes we have no curiosity about the person or anything. So that's my 2 cents for that. There was an interesting article in the Wall Street Journal last week about AI, and it said that it's interesting. It and what's the word I want? It reflects what you guys all said. Some of you may think that AI is the ultimate equalizer. Like, oh my God, I'm in Africa. You know, I'm at a disadvantage because of this and this and this, and AI is going to be my equalizer and give me a competitive advantage. And they're finding that it makes the disparity between the very qualified people and the average people, it makes it more dramatic because the people who are advanced, like Abdulrahman, like Theo, like Maria, do the hard work of learning about it and really, really, really improving their skills on how to use it and how to tailor it and those are the skills that will make you succeed rather than that quick fix and that easy, trying to quickly, apply to 20 jobs every day. But so it's an interesting article. I can share it with you folks in the job marketplace if you're interested in reading it. So let's open it up to questions from the group. I have a Gemini Pro free subscription. How can I turn it into a business? I think that's a more detailed question for Theo. Right, Theo? I would. That's in chat. Join Theo's group.
Yes, it's the question is simple, but the answer is a bit complex because having a Gemini Pro account does not help you start a business. It's the industry that you choose and the problem that you identify that helps you start a business. For instance, one consumes content every single day. So if you identify an industry and you position yourself as an expert in that industry, your audience is going to tell you what business to start. Because if you create content on LinkedIn, for instance, about how to apply for jobs, then people are going to comment on your post. Ideally, video does better than text posts. So create content and listen to what your audience is saying in the comments. They will tell you what they want, and you can create an opportunity and then sell to them because a lot of people have the buying power, but we don't know. And you need to listen to your audience before you decide what to do.
Thank you so much. That's great. Other questions for our panelists? I have another question. I think it's sort of been how to create a video by using ChatGPT. Oh my gosh, that's a technical question. Ask ChatGPT how to create ask ChatGPT how to create a video using ChatGPT. It'll tell you. Right? Everyone's nodding. Right? That's what's so great with ChatGPT is that as you have questions, you can ask it. Right? And Maria didn't share, but can I share about your LinkedIn experience, Maria, or do you want to share about that?
Sure. About
Making your LinkedIn bot, making a
oh
chat bot.
Yeah, so I work with students at the university, and I help them. I've had a lot of training in how to write biographies. So an example of where you would use that biography is the about section in your LinkedIn. And there are a lot of things go into that. There's a certain style that works best. You need to add in some keywords, so that you hit you get your SEO in there. And so there are a lot of things that go into it. And also it should be a good story. And so I would work with the students on that, and it was painstaking. I mean, it would take me a couple hours with the students. They would start with their resume. We'd discuss it. What are the highlights? What are the things you're most proud of? And really try to craft something that stands out, that is adds another dimension to the resume. It's not a resume, right? It's a story about you, and people who want to read a story can read that, and it may clarify the resume, which is more of a snapshot. So I eventually started just on ChatGPT, a bot. I put in all the materials that I had ever studied, used. I had examples of ones that were well done, and we have now started running these biographies or about sections on LinkedIn through the bot, and it really works well. But the bot asks a lot of follow-up questions. What is the out of your resume? What's the thing you're most proud of? What do you want to emphasize more? What do people not know about you? The bot is prompted to do a give and take and get you thinking and get you answering these questions. Once you go through that, it's really good. If you don't do the give and take, it's okay. I think if you want, like I said, if you want to be average, it's okay. It gets something up on your LinkedIn, which I think is better than nothing for sure. But if you want to get it really personalized and make it interesting, the give and take is what's useful. Is that where you wanted me to go with that, Elizabeth?
Yeah, it is. And it was similar to what both Theo and Abdulrahman said, of that work to go in and customize what you want that chatbot to do is really helpful. And I guess if you guys can put into chat if there are any like special resources you would recommend that people can go in to learn, how to do some of these things. We have a question from Vibio. What percentage do we need to use AI in our resume?
So that one looks like it was to me. I'll give my answer, and maybe the guys want to chime in. But like, I'm not against using AI. I think that the issue, so it's not really a percentage. That's not how I would go about it. I would say use AI to do some of it, in the sense that if you're going to do any project, let's even take resume out of the thing, you need brainstorming ideas, you need to structure it, you need to write it, you need to edit it, and you need to polish it. Use AI for one or two of those aspects, right? You want to get ideas from AI, great. Write it yourself and have AI then make sure the grammar was okay. But if you use AI to do all of it, it won't look good. That's it. So I would choose a few things, choose the parts that you think you can add the most value, and have AI do some of it. Maybe you do the brainstorming, AI proposes structure, and then you write it and then ask for edits. That's how I would do it. I don't know if that applies directly to resumes, but
I mean, I do resume coaching and I use AI a lot when I'm looking for the right word or I'm having trouble figuring out how to express something. But resumes ultimately are a tool of self-discovery, aren't they? For understanding yourself, of what are your skills, what makes you marketable, what makes you unique. And if you haven't done that hard work up front, then it's not going to be reflected in the resume. And that's really resume. It's not just about what you've done. It's about what about you has made you good at what you've done. And that's a different lens. I know I can see Theo nodding his head. He's been that journey. He's been down that journey. So I hope that's helpful. And Theo or Abdulrahman, do you want to comment on that question?
Sure, I can chime in right here. So in terms of numbers, because the question asked in terms of numbers, I would do an 80-20% The 80% is spent on planning. That is figuring out every single thing you need to know about what you want and figuring out how you're going to go about getting what you want. Then now using the 20% to input what you want into the AI and then getting the result. So it's an 80-20 thing for me.
That's excellent. What a nice rubric to, a nice rule of thumb to look at. Abdulrahman?
Yeah, for me, it's not really a numbers game. The base that you provide to AI is very important. That means the resume that you have that you've already created yourself that has a lot of context about you is really important. You just have to know how to prompting. Everything is about prompting. And one thing we should not forget also, the way AI is developed today is very reactive, and that means you'd have to tell it, to produce what you want. But the AI that is in the future that people are working towards, there's something that's proactive, there's something that understands you. We'll get to a point where you don't necessarily have to provide all that information. It will sit maybe right in your mobile phone or in your computer, it has access to all your files, but it's local to you. And that means it doesn't expose your files out there. And it understands enough context about you where it could generate content about you that fits your style, that is who you are, that represents who you are as well. So that's the feature, but that's the feature. For now, just focus on giving it enough context. I think one of the best skills you could develop today is prompting. I know sometimes it could be like counterintuitive, or it's easy because we all write, but the AI are developed in a way where, like Maria mentioned, is very like probabilistic. Like you look at the average and produce what is best. But if you know how to like prompt it, then you could get the result that you want. So that's what I would say. And I will share some prompt engineering courses. Maybe you take a look at them.
Oh, thank you so much.
Or if you don't have the time to learn the prompts, just join my community. I'll give you my universal prompt for free.
That would be awesome. Oh my gosh. We have a question in the Q&A. I'm not sure if I understand it. They said, how do we do the same for employers? I've gotten some responses. Oh, so people are using AI to respond to your applications. Yeah, they are. They're not looking at it individually. They are getting 2,000 applicants a day. It's AI generated. So I'm not surprised by that at all. So that I think what tech career path can one use AI automation to pursue? I have no idea how to answer that one.
That's a question for ChatGPT. It depends on okay, what do you want, like why do you want to pursue a field in tech? And once you figure out your why, then now what? Then you develop a goal for yourself. And there's this framework that I use, it's called the setting the impossible goal. So you set an impossible goal. Let's say my impossible goal is to make $1 million by December 2027. And I brought that timeline so close so that it forces me to wake up every single day to give me clarity on what to do next. So figure out your why. And once you figure out your why, you have that clarity on how to do it. And ChatGPT can help you with the how. After you know how to do it, then the steps just following. Like an example is if you go on ChatGPT and ask how to make $2 million within the next month, it's going to give you a roadmap to follow. If you follow that roadmap, you're going to make that $2 million.
Oh, Theo, your video froze up a little bit.
I know, I was waiting for the
I
answer.
know, I
$1
was
million.
just waiting for it. He said he's getting heavy rain. He has heavy rain right now in Yaoundé. Oh no. Wow.
I would say though, maybe if I add to that, you don't necessarily, maybe if I understand the question, you don't necessarily need to be in a tech career path to use AI automation or to learn about AI automation today. Anyone could learn AI automation today. Whether you're in sales, you're in education, you could basically build tools that could help you automate stuff. There are tools like Zapier, Anytime. These are like automation tools. And the good thing about them also, they have like a ChatGPT like experience where you could also prompt it to build the automation that you want. And so as long as you know how to read and write, and the good thing about automation, it's not that highly technical in a way where you have to learn to code, for instance. Not necessarily. Most of the time it's just a build that is drag and drop. If you just
Yeah.
understand how to drag and
Yeah.
drop, and that's it. You just connect two nodes together and you can learn automation like quickly.
Thank you so much. So helpful. And we have one more question, and he says, I'm in the process of writing my academic research proposal. Do you think I should use AI tools or no? I really need your advice. Exactly like they said, use it as a tool to help you, not to do it for you. But that's where the prompting and understanding how it works and the why in your question. So you guys, this concludes our webinar. Thank you guys so much. Oh my God, that was so interesting and so informative. Thank you so much, Maria and Theo and Abdulrahman. Thank you to our participants for joining us. I hope you find that helpful, and I look forward to our next webinar, and I hope this helps you all to be using AI in a smarter way to help make yourself become the next millionaire, whatever dream you have for yourself. Thank you all so much. Thank you.
Beyond the skies, you and I, we're